Near and dear to both Robbie and my heart, our fellow alum from the class of 1993, Eleuthera Lish. Hey Robbie, did you know that Eleuthera is on the board at Cornish?
Eleuthera, we received your call, letters, emails, Instagrams, texts. I mean, we received everything, and at some point, I was like, we get it. I got the message you were on the board of directors here at Cornish College of the Arts. I mean, I had to change all of my social media. I considered moving at one point, but I mean, I think it's awesome.
When we were in school, Eleuthera used to tell us that her name, Eleuthera, was actually Greek for someday I'm going to be on the Cornish board. Well, she didn't, and more. Since graduating, Eleuthera has worked tirelessly with young people and organizations that support them, creating programs and initiatives to help prevent youth violence, keep kids out of gangs, and help vulnerable communities across the U.S. alive and thriving, and I'm kind of proud to know.
She invented Greek yogurt. Ladies and gentlemen, Eleuthera Lish.
Okay. That was embarrassing. Okay, so I had a whole other plan, but then those guys unglued me with that song. So I'll start here. I came from California probably with a flower in my hair. It's questionable about my clothes being on, because apparently I didn't have them on a lot at Cornish. Let me turn this back on you, though. This is the hottest crowd I get to stand in front of, so leave it to a theater school to produce, after 33 years, all these hot people. Pretty hot. And then, oh, by the way, so I got here from California. I had a really thick surfer accent. Dina Burke kicked it right out of me. Dina, how am I doing?
You're good.
You never know. But when I got to Cornish, I was a young person, so it was nice of the gentleman to share some of my work for the last 20 years working with gang kids. But I did that because I was a young person who had been affected by violence and disenfranchised because of poverty and violence. And I wasn't very comfortable being myself a fair amount of the time. And so to cope, I started to invent lots of other people to be. And so when I came from California, I came because I heard this grunge thing was kind of cool, it was cute boys. But I came with the ambition to figure out how to train myself to not have to experience being myself. And ironically, I trained myself how to find myself, and Cornish gave me the opportunity to do that. But Hal RYDER was the person who I think I want to give the most credit to, and not just because he asked me to be on the board. And I had one wish. I only ever wanted to play King Henry in Henry V. And Hal never laughed at me, and Hal didn't judge that, and Hal nurtured that. And what Hal did more gently than that was find the spirit of Henry V in me, without, you know, me having to necessarily take the role on, although I am available. And I got it in me. The gang thing, you know, I got it in me. But I also really appreciate that Richard spoke tonight about finding your tribe, and all I ever wanted to do was protect my tribe, and I wanted to lead the tribe into the breach and make the tribe believe that 300 of us could totally kick their 1,000 asses, no problem. And one of the coolest things about Hal believing in that is that it kept me glued to his hip, even though I was out in the wild, wild world doing my bit. And so it's been such an incredible honor to come back after 25 years, and really it's because what catalyzed it was Hal's retirement. He said he was leaving. And I thought that 33 years had produced such remarkable, talented, inspiring, gifted people, not all of whom stayed actors. In fact, some folks went on to do things that just blow my mind. And those of us that stayed actors, or those of us that used acting and used our improv skills to work with the White House and do that kind of stuff that we're all doing. Okay, I'm doing it's really awesome. And my theater training taught me how. Now I'll tell you, it's improv to be with the president, and it's improv to be at the Department of Justice, and it's improv to deal with all of the things that are forces against our creativity and our art and our passion and our power. And Cornish is such an incredible landing pad and launching pad. And I say landing pad because I got to come back. I get to now know what it means to be connected after all the heartache and all those people said nasty things about me and they judged me and all that wears off. Eventually. Diane, eventually. But Hal's leaving ushers an opportunity in for us to keep his spirit alive in a whole bunch of unique ways. And one of the ways that really touched me tonight as I was throwing my speech in the garbage and hoping to be inspired by all of you was meeting John Farage in the lobby. John, where are you? And John was telling me how much it meant to him to come back after 20 years and be in Volunteer Park and working with Hal, and they were directing Coriolanus together. And he was lit from within, and that glow that came from my bored, nagging ass, made me realize that I'm gonna take advantage of my opportunity to help do what this school is giving me now, give back to all of you, which is the opportunity to be connected.